everybody, welcome to my channel and to Tanami Desert Zoo. And today's episode we are gonna discover what's new, and that's the koalas. They might be one of my favorite animals, if not in the game but in general, just because of how cute they are. I wish one day to see a koala live and maybe even to cuddle them if that's allowed. Even though my aunt once told me that their fur isn't as soft and cuddly as you would expect, but rather, a bit sticky, so not sure if it will hold up to my expectations. Anyhow, we are here in Tanami Desert Zoo, which is a zoo which was built completely in challenge mode. And it is set in the Tanami Desert, which is a desert in Australia. So it's not supposed to be this huge high-budget zoo, but rather, a bit mid-range, small tourist attraction where people just come to see amazing animals which could also potentially live in the desert in different parts of the world. So we already have seen the North America section with the cougar and the prairie dogs, and we have seen some Australian animals like the dingoes and the kangaroos. We've also already seen some animals from Australia, the cheetah of course, as well as how are they called? The meerkats, I think. No, it's the fennec foxes. I'm so sorry. The fennec foxes and the ostriches. So that means we have animals from all around the world which are happy to live in the desert. So now we are with the last animal of the Australia section. And if any of the other animals I mentioned interest you, why don't you check out a previous video of this series? Also, if you like the video and you like what I'm building here, don't forget to hit the like button, to leave me a comment, and of course to also click subscribe to see what is coming up next. But yeah, now for today it's just these cute little adorable animals, which are the koalas. So this is also at the edge of the zoo, so this is basically it. There will be nothing behind that, so it will be the last end. And this also gives you an idea of how big the zoo will be in general. I have already completed the zoo. If you have seen various videos, you probably know it, so I try to keep short. I've built the zoo when I was sick, I couldn't talk, so I have a lot of footage which I just need to edit into the videos and still do the voiceovers, which is why we only get one a week. And then also I of course need to edit some of the cinematics which I hadn't done previously, which is the reason for why in the cinematics you might see buildings and things edited which do not appear in the speed build, and I hope you forgive me for that. It's more a view into the future, let's say. Yeah, so this on the side is bordering to the dingoes, which we had in last week's episode, and I'm also stealing the little wall from there. I had quite some struggle here with the roofing to figure out which one makes sense. I think in the end I went for using, just some loose pieces, and actually that one worked best. And it also works with this, a little bit weathered effect, and, a little bit we patch some things up just how they work. And in the end, it doesn't call too much attention. The koalas, I decided, do get a little bit of the biggest Oasis style, so the most tropical habitat of everything, simply because that's what they like, and I couldn't leave them out because I don't think they're strictly desert animals, but they are Australian animals, so they might be the only non-desert animal which we see here, just because I couldn't build a zoo in Australia without adding those little fluff balls. Yeah, so much for that. So that's why they get this Oasis style with a lot of plants. You probably already saw it in the thumbnail. And I also have given them some climbing structure, and I have to say I was kind of skeptical because I've seen from other creators that apparently they don't climb that much, but I think it's just true for trees. The climbing frame, I often find them climbing there. You will see that also in the cinematics. By the way, there's a chapter mark, so if you rather just see the cinematics, you can jump right ahead. I don't judge you, let's say. Here I had this little problem of them potentially being able to escape, and we were in challenge mode, so I think I had to move the fence a little bit in the front, which also makes no sense. If there's a barrier, how can they climb to the other side if there's nothing connecting it? It really, really didn't make sense. And in this video, I'm also putting some time into the surrounding theming. So, the area, just decorating it with those shields, with the Australia sign and everything, just, settling in, because this already finishes up the complete right side of the zoo. So it's already half done, let's say, because the complete right is already built. This means actually I've just counted, I had to stop and count, and there are only 3 more habitats left. So this means the zoo is soon gonna come to an end, and then I will of course also post it in the workshop so you can explore it by yourself and see this small cute Tanami Desert Zoo. And yeah, it's quite interesting how far we have gotten, and all the videos, like all the time it took me ever since I built it. Of course, in the meantime, the not aquatic, but the wetland DLC came out, so I'm also working in the other project. If you haven't seen that so far, why don't you also check it out? It's called the Steinheimer Zoo, which is like a huge sandbox mode zoo, which has more themed areas, and it's more like a high budget zoo, which is doing whatever it wants. While here I try to keep, you know, to some budget restriction reality aspects, let's say. I mean, realistic is nothing really in the zoo, but you get what I mean. It's at least not looking like somebody did not care about the money, because I had to, even though I think that's the thing with like challenge mode, franchise mode, at some point the money also doesn't matter that much anymore. Like here, after I think the cheetahs and the cougars in, I didn't have to check the money anymore because enough guests were coming. They even say your ticket price is too little, and that's just like at some point the challenge gets lost. You just hire the staff you need, you have the research, like all the technical research done and so on. Of course, I still had the problem of trash. You see it here while building, because again, I don't know why I keep doing this, that I am building while the game is running. Like I should learn to pause while building. I don't know why I do not do that. But then of course it's one of those things which would make life easier, so it absolutely makes sense that I don't do it. Because making life easier? Nah, why would I do such a thing? So you see me here, I also was doing some changes in the dingo habitat. So this is pretty much the problem when you build like this, that you just build in one build, which is probably the usual thing. It's not very easy for YouTube. Again, not making my life easy, because then for one habitat you have to switch between so many videos because you come back to it and make changes after, and that's just such a pity. Also, you will see in the cinematics what I mean, but these koalas are not that good at climbing. Like, I mean, they climb, but you know, this one tree, which is literally their enrichment item, the climbing is not very smooth. Anyhow, you will see that in a second when the cinematics begin, so let me just say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching. Again, don't forget to hit the like button, to subscribe if you want to see what else is gonna come up in this zoo or in any of my other projects. And I wish you a very, very lovely day. I hope you have a nice day, and if not so, then I hope I could give you some enjoyment in the day. And I hope also to see you again sometime soon. Bye!
Fordo, Rebuva Fasolideo, Carfo, Sergudo, Tapor, Baldrus, Ripiper Dormi, Ora Shumpado, Panorama Mos Padus, Filocat Stem, Cafordis, Lamehetto, Patasun by Alomuki, Ihadel, at Lamerton Never, Carfo Vilos, Ifordo, Melser Grofen,